everyone, I am Tanjanika the author, and if this is your first time clicking on my YouTube channel, welcome and thank you so much for clicking on my video. If this is not your first time, welcome back and thank you for choosing my video again. As described in the title down below, I'll be sharing with you what I'm reading this month. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Tan, what does this have to do with anything? Well, one of my New Year's resolutions is to read physical books more. Now, I don't know about you, but I got completely swept up by the Audible book phase. I am an avid member of Audible. This is not an advertisement. I use them every month. I have credits upon credits stacked up because I'm also a member of the Audible Escapes, which is their unlimited, I guess you can call it romance books, but it's different subgenres of romance. You can read as many as you want, and yeah. So I was addicted to Audible books for a minute, but being an author myself, I know the value of holding a physical book and the things that you can actually learn by osmosis from holding a physical book and just flipping through and reading a physical book. And if you guys want me to do a video on that, go ahead and comment down below and I'll be more than happy to do that for you. But I want to share with you what I'm reading this month. So my New Year's resolution is to read 3 books a month. One self-help book, one fantasy book from an author that I'm not familiar with. So one fiction book, not really fantasy, but one fiction book from an author I'm not familiar with. And then one fiction book or non-fiction book from an author that I am familiar with. Because I do want to support the people that I feel kindred to or that I really, really like. So that is my goal for 2020, is to read 3 books a month. This month, I'll be reading, let's start with the self-help book. I'll be reading You're a Bad A at Making Money by Miss Jean, Sincero. So, I've actually listened to this book on Audible already, but there's so much interactiveness, if that's a word, that comes with this book that I wanted to get the physical book and I wanted to actually go through it and read it physically and go through the activities as I read it, because I tried to keep up with the activities via Audible, but I was listening to it in my car while I was on the way to work, and I was listening to it at work while I was doing like tedious just repetitious tasks and things at work. So I wasn't always near my journal or near pen and paper where I could do the activities with the book. So I went ahead and got the physical book, and I plan on going through it this month. And let's change my mindset about some money stuff, because we could always be better with money. And next up, let's get into a fiction book by a favorite author of mine. She's kind of new, but not really. I mean, if you've been under a rock somewhere, then you won't know about her. But it is Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Miss Tomi Adeyemi. And this is actually book 2 of the Children of, or the Zaylee series. I'm not sure if it's a trilogy or if it's a whole series, but I really enjoy Children of Blood and Bone, and so I had to pick up the copy of the book 2, Children of Virtue and Vengeance. Get the title out, Tan, by Miss Tomi Adeyemi. So that is my fiction book by a author that I know and that I like, and I can talk about Tomi all day, every day. So I'm just gonna move to the next book. This book I actually stumbled upon. This is the fiction. It's actually a fiction book, but it's by an author that I was not familiar with, and I really hope I don't butcher their name, but Soman Channing, I don't know. But I actually stumbled upon this book in Half Price Books, and it's a first edition, which is crazy. I don't think I've ever owned a first edition before, so I had to pick it up. And it's a New York Times bestseller, and it's by an author that I haven't heard of. And this is actually book 5 in the series. I'm assuming it's the School of Good and Evil series, but it's the School of Good and Evil, Crystal of Time, or A Crystal of Time. Yeah, A Crystal of Time. So I'll be reading this book. I actually already started. You can see there's a little indent there. But so this is my book from an unknown author to me. Now this person is a New York Times bestseller, so somebody knows them. But this book actually caught my eye because it was a first edition, and I was like, I've never owned a first edition, so I need to pick this book up. But those are the books that I'm going to be reading this month. Next month it will be another set of 3 books. And if you guys want tips or tricks on how to kind of keep the books organized when you're reading multiple books at one time, I can tell you my tip. My tip is to break up the fiction books with the nonfiction book, because it's hard to confuse a fiction story with a nonfiction book, just the way that they're written. That's how I keep my stories straight, and I don't get my characters all mixed up and storylines all intertwined. But that's just the way I do it. So that concludes our video for today. I've told you what I'm reading this month. If you're reading a book or decided to add to your New Year's resolutions to read some books throughout the months, tell me what you're reading this month, and in the comments down below. And if you have any suggestions of authors, also put that in the comments down below, because I'm just going to the bookstore, just looking around. That's kind of how it's gonna go, unless I get some really good suggestions from you guys. So don't hesitate to leave the comments down below of your favorite authors so that I can check them out, and what books you're reading so that I can check those out too. And after you post that comment, you can go ahead and slide on up to the top, hit that subscribe button, because it helps out my channel so much. And also right next to the subscribe button is that bell notification, so that you can be notified whenever I post videos. It's normally on Thursday, but whenever I post videos, you'll be notified. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, because that also helps out your girl's channel. So until next time, I will see you at the turn of the page. Bye.